What's up, YouTubers? It's your boy Bunny Blade, aka Budget Dad, but you already know this. Right. What we looking at? If you had seen my previous video, I said this is my little scout, which you guys know. I'll be out there flying, doing my little tricks, and boom, around the playground, you know, crashing into metal objects and stuff. And I had the Now I've been flying this thing probably a good what, about 5 months, and it's been crashing. And you guys see my video. I've been doing a lot of things with this, and this baby's still in good condition. You know what I'm saying? And I purchased this drone for $25, and I purchased the camera for $14 on Banggood, and you gotta wait until they send it to you. But then when you get it, and then I had an antenna because when I was upgrading my bugs, when I was upgrading my bugs, I took out I put, well, not this one, the other one, and I took the antenna out. But anyway, basically I just used the antenna and connected to the camera that they sent me, and I could pick it up on my goggles and my Ishin 100, and that's what I do, and do my little stunts and thing. But anyway, basically, it's this is about the visuo. Okay, as I said, I wanted to give this a rest, and come up with something with another one. So and for that purpose, I could do my tricks, and I was looking at the visual while I was, shopping on, I was looking on YouTube to see, and checking out these guys, everyone's review and stuff, and I didn't see, seen a pretty good review on the visual, and what happened now? It seemed like I could put a can. Actually, I was looking at the battle shark, and on the battle shark, right here on the front is like flat, is all the way flat, and I was thinking I could put a camera right there, put my camera there, where I could pick it up on my shin and do the same with this, but something a little bit more, better and flying. So, I didn't want nothing big or nothing, with off. So this seemed like it was a good choice. Now, um, I was looking at the one with the optical lens, the optical flow, and that was like $75. Actually, the first one I looked at was like $30. That was on Wish. Wish is like wishy washy. But then I seen one for like $60, and the basic one, but it didn't have altitude hold. It didn't have altitude hold, and I wanted one with altitude hold. Basically, it'll make it much easier for me to do my little stunts. And like if my goggles go out or whatever, boom, my drone is not falling on the ground. Anyway, so I was gonna go with that one, the one with the obstacle flow, which was $75, and the Battle Shark was like $60, which I should have just stick with the Battle Shark. The face right here was flat. I could have put a camera on it, and the Battle Shark had altitude hold. But anyway, I kept looking and looking, and I decided I wanted a good one, so I have to keep replacing it, So anyway, because I've been budgeting this for a while, So anyway, um, I came up and I got the private eye with the GPS, figuring that this right here would be the one. I wouldn't have to replace no more between this my little old Scout and the new one. I'm good right there. Only thing is, that's not what this is for. And then I see a lot of review, and they saying that this is good for beginners. If you're a beginner, this is not for you. This is not for a beginner. I see a lot of people saying that this is a good beginner, blah blah blah. This is not good for a beginner. Basically, the reason why it's too fragile. It's too fragile. Um, I flew this thing, and the first crash. Now, first of all, I the app, the app to work with this did not work on the phone that I use in my goggles, the one that you slide the phone in. Hold on. This is the phone that I use um, to do my FPV with the goggles. So I'll use this phone, slide in here, because where's my other phone? Well, my Android, it's too big. It won't fit inside this. So I had to get me a phone that wasn't, no, it's basically outdated, but it's good. It's able to do this because it'll pick up the 5.8 um, from the cameras, from the drone, and from the apps. Okay. Anyway, the app to run this. Let me put this away. I was just showing you this. This will actually, yeah. So the app to run the Visuo did not work on this phone. It worked on my Android, but the Android couldn't fit inside here. So I found another app. I think it's UFO. I found another app, and that app was able to connect to the camera, and I was able to do the FPV with this. So I slide the phone in there, split the screen. The app worked, but I didn't try like that app to see if that app could control the drone. That app probably don't have all the features and this stuff. The other features probably wouldn't work. But I was just interested basically in the view, so I could do the FPV. Now the problem was it was too lacky. It was too lacky. I had the drone up in the air, right, and boom, I hit I hit my button for the drone to go up. I mean, I actually I hit it little slowly, right, and I hear the engine. I hear the engine. So when I hit my throttle, I heard the engine speed up. Then I physically heard the drone lift up. Then after that, I seen the drone lifting up. And I'm like, no, I can't fly with this. What I'm doing, I'm going to crash. Right? So I put this aside. And I was just, basically flying off side of view. But as I said, and I was doing some little stuff because this is what I purchased this for. I was going through some things, and one of the rail I came out, and one of the rail I just nipped it a little bit, and one crash. Look at this. Can you see this? That's one side of the blade, and this is the other side of the blade, right? Now, and look at this blade. Look at this blade. Boom. And what happened now? This drone comes with these pretty little knobs here, which I didn't understand that these things fall off easy. If you notice on this side, there's no knob on this side. The one crash, the thing fell off. I wasn't used to saying, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have this drone and it falls out, check your knob. Make sure, because you might have to pick it up right there. The thing is, I realized these things. I realized what happened after I came home because, as a matter of fact, when I realized that the propeller was messed up, my prompts was messed up. I was just so, I mean, this is the first crash. Do you know how many crashes this thing has gone through? This $25 drone. You know, if you're a beginner, you want something like this. You don't want something like this that's gonna be messed up after one crash. After one crash, this is not for a beginner. This is for an experienced person that's gonna fly it out in an open field. And this is not for what I do. You know, I mean, as far as just flying out and taking pictures, that's what this is for. This cannot compare to this. I cannot see a application where I'm gonna say, well, you know what? I'll be better off sending this out than this, than my Bugs 5W with my 1080p camera. You guys see my video. This camera is good enough for me. I'm not making movies, so it doesn't need to be any better than that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, right now. I mean, there's always room for improvement, But I mean, but as I said, and this camera here is supposed to be a 1080p. Actually, the video on it, you have to use the right app. As I said, I was using the app which is UFO, not the app where it came with this, because it just didn't work on this phone, the phone that I use to do FPV with this. That didn't work. But basically, I had purchased this to put a camera in it so I could view it on my goggles. But if you notice the way how the front is, and I didn't really, I would just, as I said, I was focusing on the ballast shark, and the ballast shark right here is flat. I probably still could do that, but right now I'm not, really. As I said, this is the first time. Well, actually, the second time I flew it. The first time I flew it, I just flew it, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. Just flying it regularly, it's smooth because it's slow. That's one of the reasons. And while it's moving slow, it's very steady. So and maybe that's why some of the guys them say it's a good beginner because it's easy to control. But what I say for a beginner, you don't want to go out there and buy yourself a Lexus, the first car you have, and then you learning to drive on on a expensive vehicle. And what I'm saying, and basically, even if because I even so expensive, the thing is, this thing is fragile. You have to treat it like a little baby. The prompts are crappy. It's like they made this thing out of toilet paper or something. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Probably could use this in, I ain't even gonna say. But I'm just mad because one crashed. But I got extra prompts. They gave me a little package here, with a little extra prompt. But as I said, now I realize that this here is not for that purpose. So maybe on my next video I have something good to say about this after I get it. And another thing, the most important thing too, the way how they have these how they lock in place, and I never understand. And I never understand. And the way how these lock in places, they have the screw right here. They have a screw, and on the other side is a nut. You know, and the nut holds the screw in, and that's what holds this together. Now, if this is tightened, if the screw is tightened, this won't be able to swing back and forth. So the screw always has to be a certain loose. That's the tension right here, and that's what makes it locks in. And the screw is holding it at a certain, you tighten it but not too tight. You know what I'm saying? But this is always have to be a certain loop. So basically, what I'm saying is, what happened is, if you can see right here, when I had my crash, the screw came out. The screw and the nut came out, and the screw flew out. I don't know how the heck all of that happened on the one little crash. And I said all I did was just I nipped the side of the rail. And with this baby here, I've taken it straight. I've done came out of a loop and just end up straight, boom, right into a post. Because you see where I fly. I fly around the playgrounds and stuff where they have those metal objects and stuff, which it helps you to. You have to have a good connection to, because you're going. I get a lot of interference. And if you see my video, you see sometimes I go around I go around these objects, and then you see my my the you'll see the picture kind of fade out. You know, basically what you've seen is what I'm seeing in these glasses. When you see me flying this, and you could tell because you see the prompts, because the way the camera is positioned, you'll see the prompts in the video a little bit. And this thing here doesn't have a SD card. So everything that you see coming from this little, from, I'll call it my scalp, from this baby here, is being recorded through here. Or if I use my other goggles, it's being recorded through the goggles. So whatever you see is what I'll be seeing when I'm flying. So when you see me flying with this, and you see the pictures go out, and you see me still you see this thing still flying, that's me flying and learning how to recover after interference, after my little vessel has been hit with a stronger signal that is on a close frequency. It's a similar or close or similar frequency as this camera is transmitting to my goggles. So basically, anyway, so back to this baby here. So basically, what I'm saying is, right now, as far as the beginner, this for and as I said, my channel, I'm just doing this. What I'm doing, I'm trying to give back to the public. Anything, a little knowledge that I learned, I'm trying to show how you can get into these things, inexpensively. I mean, I know some of you guys got the money. If you guys got the money, I mean, you could watch some other guys' channel, because you're not going to see anything expensive here. I'm budget dad. Anything you see here is going to be on a budget. You're not going to see a Maverick or a DJI on my channel. Unless somebody want to donate one for me to, I'd be happy to. But as I say, budget dad, that's not me. That's not me going out and spending $1,000 or $500 on a one drone. No, $500 buy my whole kit. Okay, you got a budget. Anyway, so this thing here that I done got into is to me, if I was knowledgeable, if I knew about how fragile this was, I wouldn't have purchased. I wouldn't touch it. In other words, if I had the chance to do it again, I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't have purchased this, basically because this doesn't serve my purpose. This might be nice to, the camera is tiltable, and that's another thing too. You have to do it with your hand. I mean, this Bugs, I got a Bugs 5. This is electrical tintable with my control. You know what I'm saying? So I can't see me sending this up in the space of this unless this have an issue, a problem, and I say, okay, like, this is my backup. Okay, I can see that. Now this will, okay, I just found out use this would be a good backup, you know, because as I said, when I flew it the first time, when I flew the Visuo, um, it was on rate one, nice and smooth, nice slow. It wasn't a wind. I mean, it was a little wind, but not much. It was no windy day. It was, fairly calm. And I liked how it flowed. I liked how it flew on speed one. Speed two, it's it likes it. Okay, fine. Speed two is like what you really fly in. Speed two to me is like a normal rate. Speed one is like if you're doing video and you want to slow it down so you capture things, or you're looking for something and you don't want to pass it too fast. So to me, speed one is like basically for that purpose to me. Now speed two would be like a normal, and speed three is, yeah, okay, that's good. Now with my little Scout here, it has speed one, speed two, and speed three. Now you know what? That's another thing. After I get this back up running, I'm gonna put it to the test with this. I'm gonna see if this is faster than this. Now I'm gonna tell you another thing too about the Visuo. And the first thing when I got it, the first thing I said, okay, first thing I'm gonna do is upgrade my transmitter, and put a SMA right here that I could put an antenna to increase my signal, right? And I took it out in an open park, in an open field, and I said I'm gonna do a little range test to see how far it go. And I was sending it, and as I said, I always listen to some other guys' reviews, and they always say that when theirs went out of range, it was it was aggressively trying to land, and they had to run to it to pick up signal to gain recover. So when I was sending it, it went far. I was like, I don't, it was far enough. I was like, I don't feel like. I mean, I'm not, I'm old, but not that old. I could have walked there and get it, but I just didn't want to walk that far to retrieve this thing. If it just decided that it's out of range and it's gonna aggressively land like I hear some other guys said. And plus that was my first flight. So your first flight, you're not gonna do. But anyway, so it went so far, and I still had control of it that when I came back, I didn't even touch the remote. And maybe later on, I might upgrade it. But as far as the range, I think the range is, it's because what I wanted this for is to do stunts and stuff like that, and I'm not gonna be doing stunts, you know, like 50 to 100 feet away from me. Pretty much it's gonna be around me, within 100 yards or whatever, but 100 feet, whatever. But anyway, so the range with this is good enough. I was satisfied with the range. I was satisfied with the way I would, it's flew nice, which you expect from a brand new drone. Anyway, but as I said, I'm gonna put this to the test with this, and I could just bet that this baby here will will outfly this. Maybe not. You know what? Maybe not. But I'm gonna try it out though, because this baby here is my little mate, and I'm quite sure I could beef it up so it'll outrun this. Cause and these are stock motors on these. I've changed two motors. I've changed two motors on this baby here, on my Scout. But what the motors that I changed was from the other one. I have another one just like this. I had purchased one for $20, but that $20 one had had issue. The remote wasn't binding to the control board, and I think they were just getting rid of them because they had issue, and they were just selling them for $20. But when I first had purchased this one, and I was doing my little stunts and crashing stuff and thing. And I think I had changed it out for the camera. I think I had an issue with the camera, and I had changed. I had got I seen one for $20, and I was like, for $20, I'd try it out. I had to wait for it to come, but But basically now, so with this, after I changed the prompts, after I fix it back up, and that's another thing though. With the screw, I gotta find me a screw. I gotta find me a screw here and a nut to put this back in place. So I pull out an old router, which I'm gonna tear apart. Hopefully, I might. I just came back from Home Depot, but they don't sell the screw. As a matter of fact, I took the screw out of another one, out of the other side, which is this little baby here. I put it in here so I don't lose it. But this is the screw and the nut. There's the nut on it. Yeah, it's the screw and the nut. I'm trying to replace this, but as I said, Home Depot don't carry anything this size. I would have to like go to a hobby store. And the funny thing is, I went on their line, um, on the visuo accessory, typed in visuo accessory, figuring I would have found screws like this. I've seen just about everything except this. I've seen another screw, and I'm assuming is a screw that goes that hold the propeller in or something like that. I think it's the one that holds the propeller in. This even this is loose. I don't know why this is rocking. Maybe that's how they are. This thing is really fragile. This is not for a beginner. This is not for a beginner. If you purchase this, you gotta pet this. As I said, when I finish, when I set this back up, um, I'm just gonna have to pet this. I'm gonna call it. It's not even going. I'm gonna give it a girl name, a she. I'm gonna give this a girl name, you know. But I'll think of the name. But this, you're gonna have to treat this like a little girl. This is not for a beginner. You don't want this to be your first phone. If you crash it, this thing is not. It's not durable. You get something like this, $25, and it comes with a camera too. I'd take all that stuff off. You look, if you see my other video, it comes with a camera here where you could do the FPV. You know, it comes with an app where you could do the FPV too. But that's kind of bogus. And the camera is like low grade, as low as they come. For $25, what would you expect? As a matter of fact, just that camera alone is worth the $25 because it does work. It does have Wi-Fi. It's a Wi-Fi camera that can connect to your phone. Matter of fact, I might just use that to do something different. But to to put it on my burner fry around now, I use this camera. Okay. So as I said, so this came with, and this is the remote, but this here, that's my upgrade. This is my upgrade. They don't come with antennas. And this switch right here, this is my upgrade. But don't worry about that. But anyway, all I said, the $25. All you gotta do is just type in, go on Google and type in cheap drones. Boom. And and just keep searching until you find one of these. And I think I got this one off of Wish. Yeah, I think I did got it off of Wish. With Wish, no, the $20 one I got off of Wish, and that's why with Wish, sometimes they wishy-washy, and that's why they stuff is so cheap. If you don't mind dealing with certain issue, or you could get this stuff. But anyway, I'm not gonna badmouth them, whatever. But as I say, so I couldn't find any screws to fit this, so I gotta find a screw. And that's after I rebuild this and I use it for what it's built for, not for doing stunts. And plus, this is a GPS, so GPS drones don't do flips. Okay, so this doesn't do flips at all. So listen, I should have got the other one. If I know what I know now, I would have got the other one. The optical flow, the one for $74. The optical flow would have worked just as good as the GPS. Now the reason why I pushed for the GPS is the only thing is that these drones, like with my little Scout now, if I'm out there flying around and the battery goes low, now when the battery goes low, it has some lights underneath here that start flashing. Now the camera is low enough. I'm paying attention. I might be able to notice that this light is flashing, and know that my I got a LCD low battery, right? Now low battery charge. Now this drone right here. But usually I'm flying out in the sun, you know, where it's well lit. So most likely I won't notice these lights. So I'll be flying out there, and what I do, I try to have you know, just know how long your battery lasts. These batteries gonna give me like 2 minutes. So yeah, that's what you get it from these. But actually, I boost it up. I get like about a good 3 minutes, almost four. I never really run a test, but I've changed what I do. I get these things. Um, I changed the connector, but the solder is in there. I changed the connector to adapt a battery which have more milliamps. This is four hundred milliamps. So you see, this will give you close to 4 minutes. So that's why I say I get like three. I'm quite sure with on a good charge, this battery here will give me like 3 to 3.5 minutes. Well, probably I won't get the full 4 minutes. And plus, it's running this camera here, so it's a 400 milliamps. So this will probably give me a good 3 minutes. Okay. So anyway, so when it comes to the visuo, this one would be hand up, and because it got GPS, spend that extra money. To me, it's not worth it. I wouldn't do this again. Now, because I'm kind of committed to this, and the way I know how to overcome this little mishap now, instead of putting it down as a negative, what I would have to do is now, if I could get the cheaper one, the one with no altitude one for $30. If I could get the other one for $30, I would have the structure, just not the interior. You know, the circuit board and the extra with the GPS and all of that. But at least I would be able to keep this going, because this is fragile. This is ridiculous too. And the motors, this is kind of shaky. And as I said, this that's the second flight of this baby here. Second time I flew this baby here. One crash took out this wing, and this, I mean the proms, and this proms here, and I lost a screw with a nut. After one crash, I mean, come on. But it's because of I am trying to do what this does. See, I gotta stick with something that is. This is durable. This baby here is durable. This done did all kinds of crash thing. Look at. That's what I say. I'm gonna run this against this. I'm gonna do a video, and I'm gonna run this against this. Um, I could put the bogus camera on. I'm not even gonna put the bogus camera on this, because right now that wouldn't even be no comparison. That would not be no comparison if I put that bogus camera on here. This here is a 720, and this camera here with the wild lens, wild angle, and this one here is the one that you pop right out, and you have a SD card right there, and this is your 5.8 antenna for your FPV. So this is an FPV camera. Let me slide it back in. Okay. Let me slide it back in. So, as I said, after I rebuild this, um, I might take it out on a day and just use it for what it was designed for. Little flying, little, but I just see that kind of sense. I guess it's just a convenient because if I want to do some flying and take some picture, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to use. Now the battery on this is like way bigger than this. If it wasn't for the camera, it'd be able to stand on top. But yeah, it's okay. So as I said, after I rebuild, this baby, and use it for what it was what they need it for, what it was intended for. And I said, this the battery here. You know, you cannot compare this to this. Even with no, the other one is beefed up, but this is like, this is factory. This is factory stock, except the camera. I beefed the camera up a little bit. Let's beef it for the camera. So, as I said, after I finish rebuild this and I use it for what it's supposed to be used for, not to do stunts and not to crash, to fly out in an open field and take some aerial, which that's what this is for. But we'll see. And snap this back in. Now